How you doing this afternoon? We're about 10 minutes to 3, and the phone says it's 4 degrees here in beautiful Kentucky on this extremely bitterly cold day. You can come and check on some of the animals, see how they're doing. Hey, girls and Gustavo. Someone's not happy over there. They're arguing. We have a heated watering dish, and it's outside, but it's frozen. So we've brought some water in here in the can. You can see I have a heat lamp in here, and it's able to keep the coop a decent temperature for them. We're trying to keep them inside today. Gustavo's shaking a little bit cold, so I'm going to go ahead and close this up, and don't want to get the heat coming out of this thing, but they seem to be doing pretty well for the temperature outside. That's our main coop. We also have the small coop that we used for the turkey shelter last year, and that has our young chicks. You can hear the young rooster making some noise in there. They're doing pretty well too. This was a fun little thing I did a few weeks ago when it was muddy. I cut off a log that had fallen in an ice storm, and I cut some tree cookies, and we're using those as stepping stones. We're blocking these guys in here for right now because we don't want them to come out. We want them to stay inside on this day. As you can see, they're doing pretty well. They're in there roosting, staying nice and warm. Again, got a heat lamp, got some water and some food in there for them. The water keeps freezing, so I'm gonna have to mess around with that, but we wanna close it up and keep them inside. Definitely want to try to keep them from wandering out in the snow on this day. One of the big questions we get is about, can a chicken handle the cold? And they can. In fact, they're much hardier than you would think. Think about those down blankets and comforters that you have. Well, those are basically, there's bird feathers in there, keeping them nice and warm. And these chickens do really well. And there are some breeds that, because of the way they're bred, they fight some of this cold. They fight a chance to get frostbite because of how they're bred. This is a pair of Americanas that we keep separated from the rest of the flock. And they're really fascinating birds, but you notice how small the comb is? That's the red part on top of their head. It's actually small for a reason. That way there's less surface area to get frostbite. And these chickens are really hardy. The chicken is not as big as it looks. It's pretty much puffed out to try to keep those feathers to keep the heat in. They puff out themselves like a big jacket. But they're doing pretty well over here. These are the only ones that I'm even slightly concerned about, just because we're not keeping them warm with a heat lamp during this bitter cold. These two chickens, we have to keep coming over here and chipping away the ice and trying to get the water thawed out, because their water is not heated, and there's no heat lamp over here. So this has been the biggest challenge for these two, is to keep their water nice and thawed out. Been outside for less than 10 minutes. I'm really feeling that biting wind on my face, but I want to take you down to the pond so we can take a look at that. We get a lot of questions about our pond, especially after the video or the pictures last year of ice fishing. You can see the pond is frozen over, but just by looking at it, I can tell that there are areas that just, the ice is not very thick. It'd been cold and then warm and cold and warm recently. That's not a way of building any ice. You can see that area dark over there. I know that's where some of the water drains out when it gets high, and you don't want to be trying to stand on ice that has a current under it at all. There you are, you can see, looking down at the ice. Nice sheet of ice starting to grow on the pond here. But the problem is, it's going to be 60 by Sunday. There will not be ice fishing weather this year. I hope you enjoyed the small tour on this frigid day. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Let us know what the weather's like in your neck of the woods. Can't wait for spring to get here. Let's get growing.